Alright guys, in this video just going to run through the installation of my doors. Got some doors fitted. Hope you enjoy this one. Alright, progress is progress. Let's move along with the doors. I think we left off at the top, at the false rib in place. The skylight will go up on top, up on there. Got the top hinge riveted, clecoed on with my hinge pins that'll obviously pull out to get the door off. I might make a little housing for those, but it doesn't really matter. If one was to vibrate back, it can't go too far, and the chances of that actually vibrating back are pretty slim, sitting on 100 knots. So right, the door frame. What have I learnt with the door frame? The instructions seem to leave you alone a bit on the door frames. So I've cut the tubes to length. I've gone with 4mm spacers all the way around. I used the balsa from a leftover aero modelling days, RC days, and down this front tube as well. Just space that out, and I've put on the gussets on the outside. Bearing in mind these will come off, perspex will go on, or Lexan, whatever it is, the acrylic, the window, and the gusset goes on the outside of the window with soft rivets through there. Next job is to do the gussets on the inside. There's no information there, I can't identify whether they're A4s or A5s, but we go with A5s just because it's stronger, I guess. And also I've got these brackets, these little pieces here, which was number 3. So I've just for identity, I've labelled my corners as per the plans: 1, 2, 3, 4. So piece number 3. So these little brackets, the corner pieces go in there, and point to note they'll be stainless A5 rivets in the corners. Also the subtlety, I sort of marked those where the crease was, and sat the door in the frame. Also just along in there is where the P-seal, if you like, or the door seal will go. It'll run all the way up, so when the door closes it'll close on the seal. I've taken the striker plates back off, but we'll get the door in, so not too far off. I had to shim out. There's an extra shim in there, 1/16 at the top, just to clear the rivets and the elephant ear that I call it, that holds on the rear spar. So the plan there is, I guess, all the way around the perimeter, or the edge even, like down the bottom here. So the perspex window will go on. It's actually, you know, fairly big at the moment till I trim it down, and I'll trim it to the fuselage line, so it'll fill that gap here as best we can. So we'll cut the perspex to sit, you know, a couple of mil rather than have the 5mm. You need the 5mm there because you got to clear the rivet heads, and the door, actually, it's interesting because the angle of the hinge at the back here, this actually, how do I explain it? When you open the door, that grows longer, you know, by a couple of mil as the door opens, so it sort of swings out like that, just the top box section. So you need to allow for that, and trim. I'm going to trim the inside just to allow, so I got as close as I could, but as it opens up, it sort of swings out. I'm sure that makes sense, clear as mud. Been going well. Okay, not a bad session there tonight. Oops. Don't slam the door. So I got the top hinge riveted on, got my release pins in up the top there, and I've got a door, obviously clecos are stopping it at the top, but the door's all nicely hinged. Really happy with the fit. Just beveled that inside edge at the back top corner there. And that, I've just got a little radius to put on the bottom corner there. One of these got a radius. I've got two 90s there, or two square tubes at the moment. Just got to take that corner off, and it's just nicking at the bottom. Really happy with that. That's not a bad night's work. Going well. Okay, getting exciting. Got the doors on. This side's out by about, it's about 3/16 of an inch there, I reckon. So I'll just give that a tweak. So if you weren't aware, this top one's got a slight crease across there, like a fold, and this bottom rear corner, the crease runs up that way. So looking good. And I've done the other side. So on the right hand side, starboard side, I'm not sure if I showed you this process on the port side, but shimmed, taped, clamped, do whatever you have to do, just hold the frame in place. So I've shimmed it with 5mm shims, just balsa wood, and also shim it. I've got a shim in there just to hold the frame where, I'd say nice and square, but it's square to the airframe, which is all different angles. So just get the angle of the dangle right. Going well. A lot of work in these doors and the frames. A lot more than I expected. Only halfway through this door. Still got to do the little brackets that go in here with the stainless rivets, and the other gusset on the inboard side, and then the air actuator or the air ram gets jigged up in here. I'll hold off on doing that because I need to open the door, and without the wings on, I don't know where the door's going to stop. So once the wings are on, I'll set the air ram so the doors can open up the maximum without hitting the wing. Travelling well, looking good. Almost got doors on my baby. Okay, what's behind door number 2? Just the Glico's hitting at the top. It's right in, and that's flush. So just need a little tiny tweak, same as the other one. Just got to tweak the leading edge bottom corner inwards a bit. And look at that, door number 2. Nice. Exciting. Okay, so second door's done. What I'll learn this time? Well, it's all going well. That's about as far as I'll go with the doors, I think, for now. There's a P-seal that goes in here after I paint. I'll probably make this the inside from this line here. Paint all that grey on the inside with a nice black seal. Halve the door, so half of it will be, well, this edge will be inside. Not sure yet. The sill might be all the grey indoors, and the outer part, which you'll see through the perspex, will be the outside colour of the aircraft. A nice chartreuse colour. But good thing to note here, I guess, there's stainless rivets. Stainless rivets go on the brackets in the corner. I've already run out of A4s and A5s, so I bought another 1,000 of each. Now I've just run out of stainless rivets. I did put another 8 on each side in the top of the cage up here, so that's 16 rivets I've used there. I still have to rivet the door brackets for the actuator arm. They're stainless rivets, and down the back I think I know the rudder stops and the elevator stops are stainless rivets as well. So I've got to buy some more of those. And with the door, I may have said on the other side. So I'm really happy with how that's turned out. Really nice. Swings in and hits the stop or the windowsill. And paying attention to your plans too. Just a little. There's a crease along the top forward corner. So this actually angles inboard slightly, like you're only talking 1 or 2 degrees, and the bottom rear, there's a crease up this way, so it angles inboard. Just something to think about. Also, I can't follow the plans. I don't rivet anything until I know what rivets go in according to the plans. But there's no, these rivets on the back gusset are not identified in the plans anywhere. So I went with A4s purely because I got more A4s than A5s left, and they're pretty easy to replace if I need to. But A4s will be fine with the big stainless ones in the corner, especially for the passenger. If the passenger falls out, it's not so bad. Righto, thanks for watching. Make that nice and short and sweet. I've just spray painted some parts there, some little fiddly bits for the door trim, so it's getting a bit pongy in here. Time to wrap that one up. Thank you.